Hey everybody, how's it going? It's lunchtime, so you know what that means. Another great episode of Lunchtime Talk with Steve. So today we have Makiba Jane. She's on with us, and we're going to be talking about that age-old question. Are there any good men or women still out there? I've been hearing a lot about that, and I've actually made a post on my Facebook page, and it got a lot of comments on both sides. So I decided, let's do this question and see what happens. All right. So again, today's topic, and I'm going to put it right there. Give me a moment. Right there. Yep. Are there any good men or women out there? All right, so let's go ahead and run the intro. You guys get a chance to share it with your friends, your relatives, give them a call, send them a text, whatever. Let them know that Steve is on. And today we are talking about, are there any good men or women out there? All right, guys, be back with you in about 3 minutes. All right, bye.
Would you like to be more tech savvy, create your own compelling graphics, sales pages, and marketing tools? Would you like to effectively use social media to generate more leads? If the answer is yes, register for one or all of the 8-module digital marketing series. You will feel comfortable in a judge-free, nurturing environment as we get the work done. My name is Melissa Jane, and I am your tech trainer.
Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate. 754-213-2820. If your car could talk, it would say call Curvin's Car Detailing Service. It's mobile and they can come to you no matter where you are in Broward County. Give Curvin a call, 954-549-8507, and tell him that Steve sent you.
Baby, won't you take me there? I want some real good food to eat. I want shucking and jiving. I shuck it and jive it. Cajun food with an old school groove. Our designers to get your taste palette back in line, baby. Follow us and we shuck it.
All right, so we're back. All right, and we have Makiba here with us, and let me go ahead and bring her in. Hey, Makiba, how you doing?
Hey, family. How are you?
I'm awesomely awesome as always. Hey, question for you. Why is it that I always see these posts and hear these women saying that there are no good men out there? What's your take on that?
I think this is a very interesting conversation. I believe that is a myth, right? It's an illusion.
Mhm.
I think that we have to look at what we're looking for in a partner. And it's not just what we're looking for in a partner, but it's like, are we that person ourselves? Many people want to find, the perfect mate, the perfect man, the perfect woman, the one that's dedicated and looks good and has all these qualities. But are the qualities that you're seeking, do you possess those qualities yourself? So I think that's the first step in answering this question. Oh, well, are there any good man and woman out there? Are you a good man? Are you a good woman? What does that even mean? Like, what is that question? What is that good, right?
Go ahead. Now, go ahead, Dr. Makiba. Let me.
No, but I mean, I feel like when it comes to relationships, unless, you're young at love and it's just, my first love and it's puppy love and everything is like great. You're going to come with some experience. You're going to come with some baggage. You're going to come with some traumas, and everybody has these things. Everybody has things that they're working on within themselves. So in order to attract that perfect mate or that perfect partnership, you really have to work on becoming what you are for yourself. So, okay, you want a person, for instance, who is financially stable, that's going to take care of you, who, is focused, ambitious, has drive, etc. Do you possess those qualities? Because
Well,
you can't attract that if you're not that, you know?
Well, here's the thing though. So I mean, why are we hearing these women talking about that all the time? And I mean, we normally hear it from women saying they're no good men. Why is that? I mean, what is it that you women are talking about in your circle? When you get in your huddle or whatever, and
To get in our huddle.
when you all go to the bathroom together because you guys go to the bathroom like six at a time or something. I'm like, So when you guys do your things, what is it that you're hearing? What is it that they're saying that make women always and I see the posts all the time. I see it so many times. No, they're no good men. Men are dogs. Men are this. And it's like you never see the one that go, well, my husband is good or my what. I mean, it's like
Well, I feel like, first of all, I don't have a huddle, right? I don't know what that is. But I do know what you're talking about. And I feel like what it is um, we've been taught to look at relationships from a different perspective, right? As women, I'm going to talk for women because I'm female. Many of us, we idolize that Prince Charming, blame Disney maybe, but, we want the man that's going to come and sweep us off our feet, rescue us from everything that's going on wrong in our lives, and, the one that we can put on our arm and boast off to everybody and, ride off into the sunset with. And, in reality, that's not what a relationship is. I think we need to redefine and become very real about what a relationship is. A relationship is actually a reflection of you, right? So we say in Western society, oh, my other half, my other half, my other half. Okay, so that means you're not a whole person. if you're going into it looking for your other half. Like, think about it, right? You're
Mhm.
half of a person walking around waiting for somebody to fulfill you. Now, I'm not saying that when you meet your partner, that person is not going to bring out great qualities in you. This is someone that, of course, you want to be able to build with and you guys grow together. But that's the thing. There is growth and work in that. And remember, you're coming with your own perceptions, your own beliefs, your own ideologies, your own ways that you grew up and you were groomed to think a certain way. That person
Mhm.
is groomed to think a certain way. And now when
Mhm.
you come together, some of those ideas and ideologies may match and some of them don't match. So it's what you do in those times where they're not matching. You have those disagreements. Things are what's your reflection? What are you learning? What are you growing from together on that? Because a relationship isn't a one-way street. It's not like a one-way road. Like, okay, well, this person is giving. It's a give and take, right? And I think a lot
Right.
of times when, okay, women who we said in our huddle, right? they're they're complaining about. They might be complaining about some things that they're not agreeing upon that is being shown in the relationship, but then at the same time they don't have an answer. um, they don't have an answer. That was Google. Google had had to chime in. We're like, okay, they don't have an answer to that.
The
What's
thing though,
happening?
but that's the thing. It's like women. I mean, again, they have questions but no answers. So again, back to that same age-old question. What do they consider a good man? And then women always
Right.
come with all these different things. And like you said, it's also what do they bring to the table? Because let's be for real. I mean, if you're not a Michelle, you're not gonna attract a Barack.
It's
It's not like Barack saying, "Oh my God, I'm gonna go and find the girl that works at McDonald's and make her first lady."
right.
Mm,
Exactly.
I don't see that happening. That may be in a movie, but it's not in real life. You're not gonna see, Michelle go, "Oh my God, I've been first lady. I'm gonna go get the gardener." I mean, this is not August and Jada. We're not gonna have that kind of entanglement.
No
What
entanglements
y'all
here.
looking for? That entanglement is not going to happen because I can't see Michelle having an entanglement like that. All right, I'm just
Right.
saying.
Right. And
Um, Go ahead. Oh, that's
yeah,
Jennifer.
there are red
Yeah,
flags and people look past them. Exactly. And I feel like
exactly.
after a while, after the romance is
Mhm.
kind of fizzled or faded, or maybe not as, passionate as it was in the beginning, then those red flags continue to pop up. And then it's like you ignored it for so long, basically you've accepted it. Anything that you ignore, you're accepting. So,
And
yeah,
then the other thing too is we see it so much where women try to change men.
right.
Listen, I said it before in my post on Facebook. I've said it before on different topics. We're not going to change. What you see is what you get. I mean, let's be for real. If you want to change someone, then you're looking for a project. If you're looking for a project, you need to go out there and find a garden or something like that, and like the gardening be your project. But women are always like, "Oh, but I can change them." Did I say I need changing? I don't remember saying I need changing.
And when you feel that need, it's because I did a show last Thursday with Keisha, and a lot of times we are attracting these type of relationships because of trauma and unfulfilled things
Right.
that within ourselves. So now we attract someone that reflects that because we're comfortable with that trauma. We're comfortable with the things we might attach ourselves to someone who's emotionally unavailable because we grew up in that type of environment where we had to do all of this for attention because we might have had parents or siblings or whoever who were emotionally unavailable. So now we're adults and we're attracting the same emotional available man or woman. And then when, we come to it, we're like, oh, well, you're not spending time with me and you're not doing this and you're not doing that. Well, he was emotionally available from the beginning.
Exactly. That's the thing. Because here's the thing: if you're looking for a successful man, and you're looking for, again, I'm going to use that Barack. he's not going to get to be president by sitting home with you watching, Sex in the City and all these different shows. He's successful because he's putting his time into his work and becoming successful. Now, not to say that work is an excuse and that you can't have a balance, but that balance also has to be kind of accepted, because it's like, we find that, oh no, I want you to spend all the time with me. Well, then we're going to be broke together for a long time. Um, Jennifer said men do it too, try to change women.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, we might, and I'm not going to lie. I mean, yes, there are a lot of
There's
guys out
guys
there
that do
that,
that.
right. But 9 times out of 10, they want to turn the stripper into a housewife. That's not really going to happen, buddy. I'm telling you, it ain't going to happen. You know what I mean? It would be great if you could do both. If you could get both, and she cooks your dinner, and then you have a stripper pole in the back room or something. That's not real. That's not reality. I mean, that's something out of Kevin Hart or one of them. That's not going to work. You know. Let's see. Harry was saying the problem is for men looking for women. They're so tired of this independent mindset. That's another one. Um, okay, they don't know how to turn it off.
Right.
And that's true. I mean,
Well,
uh,
and that's the thing. It goes back to, you know, how what we value in this culture and society. Sometimes we're all about the bag, right? And we define our relationships about what is this person bringing to me? What is this person doing for me? Okay, you're not doing anything for me, so I'm gonna go do it for myself, right? And then you have that independent woman. But then remember, it goes back to, why did women have to become that independent woman? And if you go back to slavery and things like that, well, a lot of the men were broken, and a lot of the women had to now assume the role. They had to go work in the big house. They had to come back and address the wounds of the man, and the families, and everything was torn apart. So now women, I think, even especially Black women, we've been sort of subconsciously trained to listen, make sure you're good, right? Make
right.
sure you're focused, and make sure you're good. And nothing's wrong with that, because we have carried a lot of things in our society. And when it comes to relationships, yes, we probably still have that strong arm, but it takes a real alpha male man to be able to really understand that independent woman. And it takes that man to now make her feel super secure, right? So she doesn't have to now to feel like it's a competition of being independent, and I got to do this because you're not doing it. And I think
But
a lot
that's
of times the roles are reversed. There's a lot of men becoming effeminate, right? They're acting like women, and a lot of women are very masculine. So the roles have been reversed, and then that's where you see a lot of that conflict in relationships as well.
But that's the thing. I mean, and Gary, a good friend of mine who he's on the show a lot. He actually has a book called Role Reversal, and that's one of the things he's talking about. But the thing about it is, then you have that independent woman. Because everyone wants to say she's an independent woman, but then she doesn't know how to let someone come in and help her. And I'll give you a good example. If my car breaks down and I'm pushing my car, and someone stops and go, "Hey, Steve, do you need help pushing your car?" I'm not going to say, "Hey, no, I'm a man. I'm a strong man. I got this. I can do this." I need help pushing my car. I'm going to let the person help me push my car off to the
But
side.
that goes back to the trauma, right?
But meanwhile, you come in and you're trying to help her. I'm an independent woman. I can do this by myself. I know you can, but you shouldn't have to. I'm here to help you. But if you keep pushing me away and you keep telling me you don't need me, then eventually I'm going to go away. And then that's where it's going to be, oh, well, yeah, there's no good men. Well, there were good men, and you pushed them away with your, Beyonce, independent woman, don't need anybody kind of stuff. And by the way, women, Beyonce sings that crap, but listen, she got a team with her. All right. Beyonce doesn't do it by herself. So all y'all that's listening to this and independent women and all kind of crap that you see from Beyonce and all these other people, they have a team with them because she might be the one singing it, but if Jay-Z and them weren't producing it, promoting it, selling it, all kind of thing. So y'all need to get off that independent woman stuff and realize when you do need help. Now, Jennifer brought up a good point. She said, successful doesn't mean good. Success and trying to beat your ass, which is true. Sometimes you find that. But again, these triggers are there from the beginning. These things are there from the beginning. So when you see a man, whether you've been in a relationship for a day, a month, a year, or 10 years, and he goes like this to you, listen, get out that relationship.
Right.
I don't care what he's buying you. I don't care what kind of car. I don't care what kind of jewelry, what kind of bags, what kind of red button shoes. I don't care. When he raised that hand, get out of the relationship. Be like that movie, Get Out. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But go ahead. What were you saying?
Back to the trauma, because now that independent woman, right, may not have had a father, may have been, say a single mother who the father abandoned the children. So now all she knows is how to be independent to survive, right? So that goes back to the healing. I think a lot of times, and this is what we're missing in our community, in our culture, is real rites of passage, where as we grow and we learn, then we can understand, okay, how our relationships work. How am I showing up in this relationship? What is this relationship showing me? Because as you said, all the signs are there. All the flags are there. Whether it's, a flag of, okay, that's the extreme of somebody being abusive to you. But then also, what are they showing? Okay, are they emotionally available? What are they valuing? We don't define these things. We look on the aesthetics on the outsides. Oh, okay. Yeah, he looks nice. He drives a Benz, he took me to, I don't know, wherever people like to go.
Dubai for a week.
And he thought it's great, but then, he might have when he was in Dubai, he might have had other people blowing him up. But that's okay, because, I'm in Dubai. So then now you're in this relationship where you're like, oh, well, he's being unfaithful, or I can't trust him, and this. But you saw those signs, and you, like I said, you disregarded them because you were going on trips to Dubai and flossing in the
bed. Also listen to your friends that say, well, girl, a piece of man is better than no man. What was it? What's her name? Betty Wright said that in her song. A piece of man is better than having no man at all. No, listen, I'm telling you guys, any relationship, if the person is not with you 100%, step off. Jennifer said it depends on what value you're taught and what the definition of a good man. And that's true, because a lot of people don't realize that some people think a good man is just one that provides for the home and that's it.
But some men also think that too. Some men may think, hey, I provide for the home, I take care of you, hey, I can't do it all, right? I can't take care of you. I can't spend time. I can't, I'm sorry, Dubai. No, I did. Listen, we want to go to Dubai, Harry.
Okay, so we take you to Miami Beach, hell, not even Miami Beach.
We take you to up, Harry.
No, we take you to Fort Lauderdale Beach. How about that? We take you to Fort Lauderdale Beach and we pay for the parking. Okay, that's good enough.
Now the independent woman's gonna come and be like, I can do that by myself. So what you telling me? I could go to Fort Lauderdale Beach by myself. Oh my goodness.
But seriously, it's crazy, and then the thing is, okay, let's use the same dynamic that we're talking about, the dynamic of the broken home, the dynamic of the absent father, and the mother raising the children and everything by themselves. So this brings up another question, and this is one that I got a lot of pushback on and a lot of comments about. And I'm going to take a break right after this. Don't answer it yet. I'm going to bring up the question, give you time to think about it, and give you guys all time to post it while we're doing our commercial. So if that's the case, and that's the family dynamic, right? Then isn't it true that it's the women that are raising these broken men? And why not raise the man that you would want instead of raising another broken man for another woman to complain about? Hold that thought. We'll be back in just a second. I love this. This is like doing TV. All right, I'll be right back with you guys.
Son las 12 de la madrugada, mirándome en el espejo.
You heard of me? What have you heard?
I heard you're the devil.
I might be.
Ah, come on, fool.
Good, eh?
Every gang in LA has to pay their taxes.
What's up, Holmes?
Where'd it go?
If you're stack short, go rob a bank. Rob your own mother. There's no excuses. Do not test that.
Whoa, hey, whoa. Guys look like a couple of monsters. What the hell, man?
Yeah, but I'm at peace with that.
Son las 12 de la madrugada, mirándome en el espejo.
What's up, Johnny Cash? How about that time you gave me like 3 different STDs?
Are you kidding? Just kidding.
She's kidding.
You got your wife, you got your kids, you got your castle.
Daddy!
I'm supposed to terrorize the herd. That's my function.
God allows me to walk through the darkness and come back into the light.
What did you see in me?
I heard that you were this big bad gangster.
You're taxing 43 different street gangs. That's thousands of dudes in the most violent subculture in Los Angeles.
The count's short.
Who are you? I'm the future, and you the past.
Got your kids. You want to buy them back?
You don't think he wants to spill blood? He wants to cut your heart up.
Can't run with what's left.
I got a 380 on each ankle, 38 on my right, 25 on my left, chopper in the trunk, Glock in my belt. I'm on it.
Took my kids, man.
I'll ride with you till the wheels fall off.
You're bad. You ain't that bad, all right?
Esperando los kilos por American Airlines. No cumplía 10 años y empiezan a chotear. Y hablando corriendo mi celda y allí con la
Open your mouth.
He'll splatter your brains out. I don't want that.
I do. I want that.
All right, and we are back. Jennifer actually had a comment on here. She goes, "There are many homes. There are many homes that are governed by single moms, and how you complain when you raise unstable men." Yes, I know many single queens are going to come at me here. That's what her comments are, and I know a lot of single women are going to come at me about that as well and say, you know, they're trying their best, they're doing this and doing that. But here's the thing, though. You're raising the same mama's boy that you're complaining about. You're not teaching him how to be a man. And then, of course, then the next argument is going to be, well, a dad would teach him how to be a real man or whatever. But here's the thing. We can go back and forth with the argument and with the blame game of the guy not being there, the woman pushing the guy away, the whatever. But what do you say? What's your take on that? How, you know, a woman raises a guy and then complains that the men aren't stepping up when they raise their mom.
Yes, I mean, and people are going to disagree and come at us, but a woman cannot raise a man. Now, we can do our best, right? We could do our best to instill value and responsibility and, you know, let them know what time it is. But at the end of the day, we are a different species. We're a woman. And at some point in that boy's life, he is going to need men. He's going to need men around him to guide him, to structure him, to deal with issues that men have as they're growing. And you know, we as women, we can't, you know, inflate our ego and be like, well, I did that, I raised. And I'm not saying that there's not successful men that have been raised by women, but I bet you, if you talk to those successful men, they're were men still in their lives. It might not have been their father, but they were instrumental male role models in their lives that helped them, right, to develop. Because how are we going to give men, how are we going to tell them how to just do certain things when we're not them. We're not a man. We don't know, when the voice starts to change and the dreams and all this stuff. How are we going to address that? When now that the boy grows and he has issues with his relationship with his queen, we're going to give him advice as another queen? No, he needs male advice.
And that's the thing, because as a man, there are certain things that I can't teach my daughter. If my daughter comes to me and tell me, oh, like, I don't know what it feels like to have cramps. So the first time she comes and say that she's having these symptoms or whatever, I'm like, really? Well, let's go get you some bicarbonate soda or something. I don't know. I wouldn't. That's what she's going through. I'm thinking, your stomach hurt? You got a stomach ache? Let's get some bicarbonate soda. You drink that, you burp, and you're good. I don't know what that's like. I can't tell her about different things. I can't. There's so much different things, and then, and again, it goes back to the same thing too. Then the mom, like Harry was just saying on here, Harry was saying men should raise boys if the couple can't stay together. But then
the boy's gonna grow up with all these mommy issues. So
well, not that I don't think they should be 100% away from either parent. Exactly. I don't think that's the case, because like when my ex-wife and I divorced, my daughter spent time between both of us, and then when she got a little bit older, then she would set the thing. Okay, well, Dad, I'm going to be my mom for a little while. Mom, I'm going to be my dad for a little while. Whatever. We still kept in contact, because if not, the kids will play you. They'll tell you they're by mom and they're by dad when really they're by their friends. They will play you. So we still kept in contact for that part of it. But when it comes to a point where the boy needs that dad, especially in his early teen ages and stuff like that, I think that's a good idea.
And if the dad's not available, then you need to find mentors. There's like in Fort Lauderdale alone, there's the 100 Black Men of Greater Fort Lauderdale. So there's organizations like that where they're around men, successful men, and men that can give them guidance. I want to read what Harry says, but women never do it, even if they know they would grow up with those flaws being raised by them. Okay, for instance, sometimes you cannot allow, maybe that relationship was toxic, maybe that relationship was abusive, right? Mm-hmm. And now the woman has the children, but because that relationship was so toxic, abusive, you don't know what the story is. She can't not allow the father or whoever to raise the son, because now if somebody's toxic and abusive, they're going to raise, doesn't matter you're a man, you're still going to raise a toxic and abusive son, right? Because that's who you are, right? That's going to be your reflection. So,
but here's the thing. You also can raise a toxic and abusive daughter.
You can raise a toxic and abusive daughter.
By teaching her to accept that behavior, and by teaching her, because another friend of mine and I, we had this conversation years ago. I'm not saying you don't spank your kids or whatever if they do wrong, but there's a difference between spanking your kids and beating the crap out of your kids, and then turn around and say, but I love, it's because I love you. Because you know what? Later on, there's a guy that's going to beat the crap out of her and tell her, but baby, it's because I love you. And then you're going to end up with women that think, if he doesn't hit me, he doesn't love me. That's actually, like, she's going to be looking for that abusive and that toxic relationship. So it comes into play too. And also what we have to realize is we teach our children by what we show them. So if the woman shows the man that, if the woman is showing the kids, push away that man just because he doesn't spend enough time with you. There's a give and take in every relationship. I'm not saying there's ever a perfect relationship. Again, I'm going to use Michelle and Barack. I guarantee you that it's not as great as it seems.
That's the other thing. Sometimes as soon as there's an issue in the relationship, we want to run. We want to, hey, it's not perfect. It's not Prince Charming. It's work. It's,
It's like she cut her hair like this. That's it. I'm out. I'm divorcing. I'm done.
Exactly. And we're not willing to really
Cut
go
her
deeper.
hair.
We're not willing to go deeper. To really, and that's the thing, relationships are, like I said, are reflections for you to evolve, for both of you to evolve. And then the same thing with, say, the women, right, now have the children, and they're like, oh, well, your daddy ain't this, and this man ain't that, and da 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 da. Then first of all, you're demasculating the male children, if you have male children, because now every time you talk about men, right, it's in a negative light. So they're like, oh, well, then I guess I'm not anything either, because that's what my mom says, right? And then now the female daughter is thinking, okay, well, men ain't nothing. And then now when we have a society, well, you don't even have to pick a male or a female. You can go female. You can go male. You can experiment. You can change genders. You can change parts. You can do whatever you want. Then it becomes, to find love, right? So if that becomes like, well, then back to what I think Jennifer said, what are we valuing and what are we teaching our children inside of these values? Because you might have got it wrong because maybe things that you haven't healed or weren't taught or didn't see in your life, but that doesn't mean that you can't attempt to get it right for yourself, or you can't tell your children, hey, listen, this is the reality. But this is what you might need to look for. You might need to look at, this red flag. You need to have conversations, right? You need to have conversations, first of all, with yourself, right? If you're in a relationship and this relationship isn't going well, you have to have a conversation with yourself, right? And then you have to have this conversation with your partner. How do we grow from this? How do we, if we want to stay together, how do we move forward? What are the things that's coming up? Can these be resolved? Because again, you can't change anybody, but there's compromise, there's growth, there's evolution if everybody's on the same page, right? And everybody wants the same thing. Right. But if now we can't do that and we dissolve, now how do we now show the children? What are we showing the children?
And like Paula is saying, being a parent is about learning as well. Both mother and father need to be prepared to deal with the expectations of this task. And it's true. Just like there was a comment that was made on the Facebook post that I made, and actually, I think it was on one of the shows where someone made the comment and say, when you have a child, you should be prepared to take care of him by yourself. That's ridiculous. That's unrealistic. That wasn't on this show. It was on the previous show. But both parents need to be willing to take care of that child and take care of whatever situation. Jennifer says it's important to co-parent, but use wisdom because we raise children, not dishing. Okay, where are you from, Jennifer? Where are you from? That sounds like Indian, West Indian. I'm saying that. Let's see. Harry says it's
if you can co-parent, that's amazing. I mean, now you have to think about it. If we've been attracting toxic relationships and we had children within these toxic relationships, that may not be an option, right? That might not be an option to co-parent, but you can always educate yourself, right? You could always find, like I said, these groups for your children to join and be a part of, so that they do have role models and leadership examples that are in line with you and your views and what you're teaching, because it does take a village to raise a child. There's a book, it's called Raising Princes to Become Kings, and it was written on the traditional African perspective on how, as a single parent, what this woman did to raise her sons, right, who are now successful. So definitely, if we can have our relationship stay together, that is the best thing, because, the Black family is the most powerful, thing on the face of this planet. That's going to incite just change, and we're going to raise great children, and, we're going to have a better community if we can do that. If we can't do that, then the next option is to co-parent. If you can't co-parent, then find a way to make your children's experience not your experience, right? Exactly. Find a way to educate yourself and your children so that they are not repeating the same
The
things
cycle.
that you're
Exactly.
not repeating the cycle. And don't talk
Exactly.
bad about the other parent. Stop doing that. Stop telling your children all your business about what happened. Like, stop downing the mom,
Children need
stop downing the dad, stop disrespecting each other in ways that you know is disrespectful, because
Exactly.
when you were together, you still enraged about that relationship. Now she moved on, now he moved on, and you're still over here hating. And don't do that. Don't do that.
Because the crazy part is what people don't realize too is when you do that, you're actually hurting the kid. Because you're sitting down there, you're saying, your mom is this and she's terrible and and you're going on and on and on and on and on. Even if you're talking to your friend on the phone about all these terrible things, but then you turn around and tell the child, you're just like your mom. So then the child's gonna be like, well, damn, I'm terrible, I'm this, or I'm all those bad things that you said. Because if I'm just like her and you've been telling your friends how terrible she is, you're saying I'm just that terrible too. But that's the thing. We don't realize the things that our children and to us as adults, it's like, no, of course I wasn't talking about the child in that way. But in a child's mind, that's exactly how they equate it. I'm just like the person that you just said was so bad. You know,
I think even
but
before we get there, we really have to have a conversation about rites of passage and healing. Because a lot of these issues that come up is because we do not have, I mean, in our communities, we have so many broken family structures. We have so many just things that we're faced with. And we need to be able to understand how to navigate this once we now transition from being a child to an adult. There's so many boy men and girl women walking around with the mentality of like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, but they're like 34. So it's, you have to begin to evolve. And I think, rights it doesn't have to be elaborate, but there's so many different programs. There's Sacred Women program. There's different programs that's going to help you evolve your mentality, involve your mind. There's Man Heal Thyself. There's, if you go online and you look at rites of passage for men, you look at different, there's different religious, spiritual programs, things that have to do with yoga, just teaching you about evolving from where you came from to here, because that's going to help you be able to define a relationship. There's a book by Joel Pooprum, and it's called Relationship Before Sexship, right? Because, that's the first thing we jump into. We jump into the physical in these relationships. But how do you formulate a relationship with somebody that's not based on the physical, right?
well, and when you think about it, that goes back in the day when people used to have pen pals. Because when you had a pen pal, you wrote letters back and forth, and you knew that person before you even met them. You might not be for a year, but you've been writing letters for once a week for a whole year. Yeah. So you already wrote 52 letters and received 52 letters before you met that person. So by the time you meet that person, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what they looked like. It didn't matter what they had. It didn't matter all these different things because you got to know that person. Exactly. Nowadays, you see that person and you're like, damn, she looks good, and boom, that's it.
It's so superficial now. Now it's just like, I'll slide into my DMs. Like, no, what about courtship? Like, what happened to courtship? What happened to get slide DMs?
You swipe left, and boom,
and that's it. So, we need to bring back courtship. We need to do that for our children, especially when your children become of age, when they are interested. Meet that person. Don't be like, oh, you're not supposed to have no boyfriend. You're not supposed to have no man. Like, don't do that. Meet that person that they're interested in and have a conversation. Go out with them, see how, and then let your child know that's a very great quality. That might not be a great quality. Obviously, you're not picking and choosing. You're not telling them what to do. But you're giving them that sort of awareness, and also healing. You got to heal from the things that you're holding onto as trauma, so you're not attracting those, and that does not become your reflection in a mate. If you want certain things for your life, you want certain things for yourself, you have to be on track of achieving those things. And if you have emotional, mental blockages, you have to go seek that out. You gotta remedy that before you could even get into a relationship. We always talk about bringing baggage into a relationship. You don't want to bring baggage. There always might be some type of baggage, but can you deal with that baggage that's being brought in? How are you going to remove it? How are you guys going to evolve from that? Right? If you can't answer those questions, then you're probably not ready to bring children and all this stuff into that relationship.
But one of the main things that you just said too is healing, because if you're going out with someone and the person goes, "Oh, I just got out of a relationship a month ago," listen, you
Yeah.
both know you're not ready for another one because it takes time to heal. Just like that's like saying, "Oh, I just broke my arm. Let's go play football." But wait, you just got your cast off this morning, and you
Yeah.
want to go play football this afternoon? That's obviously not going to work. You're gonna hurt your arm again. So it's the same thing. You can't jump into a relationship,
Yeah.
just 2 weeks
After the
and you
first one.
jump to
Yeah.
another one.
Stop that whole rebound. Oh, this is my rebound, boo. No, you just destroying yourself. And then we have to understand too that sex is very important. It's an energy exchange, right? So if you're sleeping with Tom, Dick, Harry, Mary, Sally, everybody, like that's all energetic karma that you're storing in your organs, which is the organs, your sexual organs are used to create and are used to reproduce not only children, but your life. So if you're, have all these people up in your creation energy, your creation space, what are you creating? You creating a whole, I don't know if you guys watched She's Gotta Have It with Nola, but she made a 3-headed monster of all the people that she was dating. It's a really good series.
I was watching it.
But she's super confused. She's dating her dream guy who's unavailable because he is married, right? She's dating this metrosexual, I don't know, who's just so into himself. And then she's dating like her BFF comfort, friend who's just been her friend since forever. Then she starts dating a girl. And then it's like she's dealing with all these people. And, some people watch that show. It's like, yeah, I'm empowered by Nola. But at the end of the day, she had to take a step back from all that. She had to cut all those people out so she could focus on what she really is trying to manifest in her life. And if you are jumping from relationship to relationship, or you're having multiple relationships at the same time, the only thing you're creating in your life is chaos. That's
And
it.
the crazy thing too is, one of the other things I gotta say too, parents, don't introduce your kid to everyone that you date. I mean, a person should at least you should be dating that person for hell months before they even before they even meet your kids. Because if not, you're teaching your kids that number one, it's just like here today, gone tomorrow. They're disposable. All these different things. You got to look at what you're teaching your children, what you're showing your children. Because there's so many parents I know that every single time they have a date, the kid meets the date. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Why do you meet them every time? What are you looking for, your kids' approval? No. Come on. It's crazy. Hell, they don't even need to meet your friends every time. Jennifer was saying, she said her mother had 2 boys, and as a single mom, she couldn't raise them, but she couldn't raise kings, so she let them upright men in the neighborhood help to raise them, which is what we're talking about, mentors. She said she had 4 princesses, and she wouldn't let them date a man that couldn't wear a belt. That's the other thing. We have to look at what we consider to be. I don't know how to put it, but dude, guys, pull up the pants.
Yeah, it's like, what are you valuing? What are you valuing? Are you valuing, the material? Are you valuing, what are you? It's really, what's on the inside and what that person is doing. It's not about all this outer stuff. Oh, he has, Calvin Klein underwear and, size 12 Timbs and a Benz. It's not.
And the crazy part is, listen, if he's wearing all these clothes and he has all the he has the 3 Benzes and this and that and all kind of stuff, honestly, he's probably not going to have the money to spend on you and your kids unless he has a damn good job. And even at that, let's look at priorities.
And also, I think it's very important for us to, as parents, to demand that we do meet the people that our children are dating. Because, if I think, and this comes from just my parents, if a man or woman sees that, okay, I could just date her and I could just deal with her how I want to deal with her, and I don't see anybody around her as an authority figure, that's taking interest in my relationship with her, then it just shows me that, there's nobody caring about her but me, so I can do whatever I want. So, definitely take an interest in your children's relationships as they grow older, because that's going to help them also define certain things that they need to, qualities that they need to look for, red flags if they come up, so they know how to navigate and deal with those things as well.
Well, it's about that time for us. I tell you, an hour goes fast when I got you on the show. I don't know. When you're on the show, it's like an hour seems like 10 minutes, Jennifer has one last comment here. She said she didn't play she didn't play that. She wanted I wanted my bride piece. Oh, okay. A bride price for my princess. Oh, yes, because the Indian religions they do it. Do they still do that though? That's another show. Ah, do you still give like four heads of cattle and all kind of stuff? That's a long story. Another show. We're gonna do that though about different traditions and are they still around or should they be still around? Anyhow, be that as it may. So let's get that 1 minute wrap up from you. What and also talk about your show. Tell us about your show because you just started your talk show not long ago, and I've been watching it. It's great. Actually, I watched the one with Keisha the other day, where you guys were talking about healing the inner child, and that was great. I love that.
Yeah, so my show is every Thursday from 2 to 3. And of course, we talk about everything that has to do with our health and wellness as children of the African diaspora. So you could tune in on Facebook and YouTube Live at Cultivate Life. As Steve said, last week we had Sister Keisha on, and she was speaking about kind of what we touched on a little bit with those trauma bonds and healing the inner child. So you are not trauma bonding with the people that, you're now in a relationship with. That's not a relationship, that's a trauma bond. So, you could check back all the replays of our shows. And it's every Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. This week we have, we're talking about the Ghetto Grow Your Own initiative with DJ Raw and the Hemp Goddess, and just talking about being self-sustainable, especially now during COVID. But we always have really great discussions, and we welcome you to tune in. So thank you.
That's awesome. I like that. I like that, and I wish you very much success with your show. I know you're going to be very successful with it because I know you and everything you put your mind to. You make it. You turn it into gold. You're like Queen Midas.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
All right, so we'll talk later on. And again, thanks for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And remember, get your healing, guys. Don't take a minute for yourself. Self-care.
Definitely.
Before you engage in anything else, right? So
all right, thanks. So guys, there you go. You have it. You heard the word directly from Makiba. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to leave with you guys before we go is definitely look at what you're bringing to the table before you start looking at what someone else is bringing. It's almost like going to a party. Everyone looks at, well, wait a second. He didn't bring anything. Yeah, but what did you bring? You know what I mean? You want him to bring a bottle of Dom Perignon, but you're bringing a bottle of Mad Dog 2020 for what, $5? Come on. You got to come to the table with something equal to what a person has or close to it. And potential is not the same thing. Now, yes, if you're both starting from the same level and growing up, that's one thing. But if you're going to tell me, oh, well, I have potential of this. Okay, you're 50 and you still want to be a potential rapper. Okay, we got a problem. But either way, long story short, definitely get out and vote. You guys in Broward County, even in Miami-Dade, we're at early voting already. Get out there and vote. Make your voice count. Vote, vote, vote. The rest of you around the country, I know the different elections are at different times. Get out and vote. Don't forget to vote November 3rd, because this is a very major election. We want to make sure that we get everything out there. We want to make sure we get, every vote should be counted. All right, so go ahead and make this happen. All right, guys, time for me to head back to work. Time for me to just get out of here. So again, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and do a random act of kindness for a stranger. All right, peace, people.
Ladies and gentlemen, Army of Love.
Screwed up from the things I did.
We are the opening act for Arcade Fire.
The past will always
Morning, Mr. Biggs. Thanks for the guitar. This thing is amazing.
Who's that? Lieutenant upstairs.
You're writing a lot of songs?
I actually wrote a song yesterday.
You did?
It's about it not being easy growing up.
I hear your friend's got some sick skills.
Sure does.
I'm Gina.
Oh,
Do you know anything about the man who owned that tailor?
Lon Jackson, lead singer of Army of Love. Your sister, right? That him?
Do you believe in reincarnation? What if we were all meant to be together? You, me, Vaughn, the band, just in a different way, in a different time. Is that so crazy? You guys ready to meet your new frontman?
Oh my God. It's Army of Love. Yeah!
You were meant to be a part of this family.
Where did you find this kid?
I didn't. He found me.
I seen that oak.
Aren't you looking fine as hell?
You brown sugar piece of candy.
Would you like to be more tech savvy? Create your own compelling graphics, sales pages, and marketing tools? Would you like to effectively use social media to generate more leads? If the answer is yes, register for one or all of the 8-module digital marketing series. You will feel comfortable in a judge-free, nurturing environment as we get the work done. My name is Melissa Jane, and I am your tech trainer.
Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate. 754-213-2820. If your car could talk, it would say call Curvin's Car Detailing Service. It's mobile and they can come to you no matter where you are in Broward County. Give Curvin a call, 954-549-8507, and tell him that Steve sent you.
Baby, won't you take me there? I want some real good food to eat. I want shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving.
You want. I know you like that dive shrimp. My son fish and them geeky grits. My granddaddy make you have a fit. Right on. I try to give you all of my best. I do it straight from the heart. Cook it straight from the soul. Now. Straight from the soul. Yeah. Straight from the soul.
That's what it is, what it is. That's where it's at, that's what it is. Come on down to Shuck It and Jive and Cajun food with an old school groove. Our designers to get your taste palette back in line, baby. Follow us at We Shuck It.
Please visit lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com if you would like to be a guest or advertise on the show. If you're interested in any of the products or services you saw on the show today, or if you would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website, lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com.